Levi could not care less about the few lowly men surrounding him. He continued to stare at Susie. "Is that so? But I saw with my own eyes how drunk you were." "Impossible. I wasn't drunk. I attended a dinner banquet with Ms. Lopez yesterday. Then, you came in and beat those people up. You even tortured them and warned me not to tell anyone." Susie summoned her courage and placed the blame on Levi unwaveringly. "Oh really?" Levi demanded. Susie was not afraid because she had her muscular friend's support. She shrieked angrily. "Don't you dare pull any tricks on me, Levi Garrison. I am telling you, you cannot escape the charges pressed against you. You are an ungrateful human being. Those foreigners would have raped you if I did not rescue you last night," Levi responded. Fear crept into Susie's heart when she was reminded of the frightening scene from yesterday. But she braced herself and said, "That's not possible. Mr. Dickens is a well-known gentleman. He is polite toward all ladies. Don't go judging him with your despicable standards. She is good at telling lies." Levi took out his phone and pulled up his gallery. He then waved his phone in Susie's face. "This is the video of you in a drunken state that I took last night. I wonder who is the person touching you in this video? Oops. I believe these hands belong to Mr. Dickens." Susie was dumbfounded when she saw the video. "He took a video of me. This video is proof that I falsified my statements. I will face time in jail if I am exposed." Susie's face turned to the shade of chalk instantaneously. "Delete that video right now." She made a fruitless attempt to snatch Levi's phone. Levi nimbly avoided her and got up to leave. Susie hurriedly stood up as well. She yelled furiously, "Give me the phone." "Why should I give you this phone?" Levi asked. "Give her the phone immediately." Susie's friends blocked Levi's path and ordered him in an unfriendly manner. "Oh please. This is my phone," Levi said. One of the men, Clement Marrow, demanded harshly, "I order you to hand the phone over right now. Truth be told, the person in charge of this bar is my brother, Chopper. I guarantee you will not walk out of this place unscathed if you do not give me the phone." Her friend's presence boosted Susie's courage. "You will suffer greatly tonight if you do not delete the video, Levi Garrison." Levi ignored them. Clement reached out to snatch the phone just as Levi continued to walk ahead. Thump! Azure Dragon appeared out of nowhere and punched Clement's face. Blood splattered everywhere. Thump! Another man fell to the floor. In a matter of seconds, Susie's friends were all lying on the ground. "Who the hell dares to cause trouble on my turf?" A loud voice pierced the atmosphere inside the bar. A dozen men rushed toward the scene. They were thugs in charge of the security in that bar. The bar's manager had informed them about the fight, so they came in a hurry. Levi thought that voice was a little familiar. "That's Chopper, who works on the construction site as a helper. He is one of Noob's men." Chopper's face turned pale when he recognized Levi's face. "So, you are the bastards causing trouble on my turf?" Chopper strode past Levi and Azure Dragon and came to a halt in front of Clement and his friends. Slap! Chopper slapped Clement forcefully across his face as the latter spat out a mouthful of blood and a few of his teeth. Slap! Chopper slapped another person's face. The few thugs following Chopper beat up Clement and his friends mercilessly. The manager was astounded. Why is he beating up our VIP customers tonight? How did they end up becoming the troublemakers? I am certain that they stirred up trouble in this bar. Chopper interrupted the manager before he could explain. Unexpectedly, Chopper shuffled toward Levi and said to him politely, "I am sorry to have bothered you with this inconvenience. I have dealt with those idiotic punks, Mr. Garrison." "Well done." Chopper was elated to receive a compliment from Levi. Susie and her friends were puzzled. That's the complete opposite of what happened. Levi waved his phone at Susie. "I will be taking my leave, then." Levi left with Azure Dragon afterward. Susie chased after them immediately because Levi still possessed the video that could ruin her life. But by the time she arrived at the door, Levi and Azure Dragon had disappeared without a trace. Susie knelt on the floor as she cried her eyes out. "I will be doomed if I cannot find Levi Garrison. I will have no way to escape imprisonment if he turns in the video." Susie was overwhelmed by fear and regret. "I cannot go to jail now. I just graduated from university. And I have a bright future ahead of me. Oh, how I wish I can turn back time. I lost sight of everything because of that 1 million offer." Meanwhile, Phoenix had completed his tasks. He tracked down all the transaction histories and call logs of the waiters that witnessed the event. The waiters were cowering in tears before Phoenix. Inside a luxurious villa in Northampton, Arnold Botts was puffing on a cigar while a sexy lady lay on the bed. He eyed the woman on the bed and sneered, "The next person to fill that position on the bed will be you, Zoe Lopez." Many of her ex-classmates had always coveted Zoe because of her beauty, especially those who were now successful and accomplished in life. Arnold was determined to get his way because this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him to sleep with Zoe. "I will have a taste of the woman who rejected me in the past." At that moment, someone pressed on his doorbell. Arnold put on a bathrobe and went to open the door after he cursed that person who disrupted his train of thoughts. It was Levi who was standing on the other side of the door. "Oh my! Look at that!" Levi Garrison, the man who used to be a powerful figure in Northampton. "Welcome." Arnold invited Levi into his villa instead of chasing him away. "Are you here because of your lawsuit?" Arnold asked. "You are right. You are the owner of Botts and Ellis LLP, after all. You are the only person I can come to at a time like this." Levi smiled. "What's going on?" Arnold feigned ignorance. "I am here because no lawyer in the city would represent us in this lawsuit. I was hoping if you could enlighten me on the situation," Levi answered. "Haha. Frankly speaking, I arranged for all this to happen. No one in this field will have the guts to accept your case now." Arnold blurted out the truth because he was not afraid of Levi. In his opinion, Levi was there to beg him for mercy. "Oh no. It's you?" Levi pretended to be in disbelief. "That's right. I want to drive you and Zoe into a corner. I want both of you to be caught in a helpless and desperate situation. And here you are, coming all the way to my villa to beg me." Arnold beamed at Levi. "That means you planned everything with Alaric Taylor's help?" Levi questioned him. "Yes. I bribed those witnesses too. My arrangements are flawless. You will have to face death if you do not beg me right now, Levi Garrison." Arnold Botts laughed wickedly. "You're completely under my control, Levi Garrison. You are doomed. So, it is you who have been manipulating every turn of events." Levi acted as if he was furious. "That's right. I agreed to accept the case without any hesitation when the Northampton Chamber of Commerce contacted me previously. I pursued Zoe in the past, but she rejected me mercilessly and even told me that I do not deserve her. But times have changed. I am the person who can alter your fates now." Arnold Botts could never let go of the humiliation he experienced in his younger days. But he finally had the opportunity to toy with Zoe. I will play with her to my heart's content. You, Levi put up a scared front. Arnold moved closer to Levi and jeered at him. I am your master now, Levi Garrison. You will lose if you fight me in this lawsuit. I will see your face again behind bars. But that wasn't my fault. They tried to take advantage of Zoe and threatened me too. I was only defending myself. Levi uttered the words desperately. He. I am aware of that, naturally. Charles and his friends are a bunch of sex fiends. They have toyed with plenty of women over the years. They wanted to defile Zoe on purpose as a form of revenge against you. It was also their intention to tie you up and let you witness the entire process. But what can you do even if you know all about the truth now? You don't have any evidence against us. Arnold challenged Levi smugly. Then what should I do, old friend? Can you please help me? Levi faked a plea. Arnold put on a cunning smile. That's very simple. Pay me $200 million and leave Zoe under my care. For 1 week. This is not too much to ask, am I right? $200 million should not be a problem now that someone has invested in her company. I am offering you a fair deal now. Let your wife please me for 1 week in exchange for your safety. Arnold patted Levi's shoulder. Think wisely, Levi. You're doomed. If you cannot fulfill these 2 conditions, I guarantee you will be sentenced to life imprisonment. You can never escape that place for the rest of your life. Levi laughed after Arnold was done threatening him. He sat on the sofa and crossed his legs while puffing on a special cigarette from the army. His demeanor had changed completely from when he was begging Arnold Botts moments ago. Arnold stared at Levi incredulously. He is supposed to be begging me. Why is he acting like the boss now? What are you doing, Levi Garrison? Are you tired of living? Arnold screamed. Footsteps reverberated inside the room all of a sudden. Arnold assumed the sound was made by the woman he slept with earlier, so he said harshly. Didn't I tell you not to come out here? I am not allowed to come out here? Arnold turned his head around immediately when he heard the voice of a man instead. Then, he saw Azure Dragon walking slowly in his direction with a camera in his hand. Who are you? What are you doing here? Azure Dragon strode up to Levi while disregarding Arnold. I have captured the whole process, sir. Arnold tensed up when he saw the camera. He asked frightfully, you recorded the whole conversation earlier? Clarity washed over Arnold instantaneously. Levi put up a pretense by begging me for mercy. He said a trap for me to spill the truth on my own accord. I did not expect him to do this. Levi Garrison is just a nobody, in my opinion. Perhaps I have underestimated him. Levi checked the footage and said with a smile, you are right. I wanted to record just the voices with a recorder. But on second thought, filming the entire process will be more convincing. Levi's confidence unsettled Arnold. I will be a goner if this footage is exposed to the public. My law firm will collapse, so will my life. Arnold was drenched in a cold sweat at that moment. His anxiety was much more intense than Susie's. Susie's concern was merely the fear of imprisonment, while Arnold would lose everything, including his wealth, career, and life. Arnold stared at Levi hatefully, unwilling to give up without a fight. Hand me the footage now. Then we can discuss the terms like civilized people. Otherwise, you will suffer miserably. Are you threatening me? Levi grinned at him. Arnold grasped the situation in a heartbeat. Levi Garrison is a formidable man. He would not think of doing this if he's just an average Joe, as I thought. Threatening him is futile. Arnold suppressed his undulating emotions. He tried to negotiate with Levi. Just tell me what you want. Levi shook his head. I don't want anything. No, wait. I will assist you in this lawsuit if you give me the footage. I can guarantee your victory, and you will receive a handsome amount of compensation too. Arnold suggested. Levi's only wish at this moment should be to win this lawsuit and free himself from all the charges pressed against him. Levi's lips curled into a pensive smile. Why would I need a rubbish like you to help me with the lawsuit? Levi got up to leave after he spoke. You can't leave now. Let's discuss the terms as you wish. Arnold blocked Levi from moving forward. I can promise you anything as long as you delete the video. Arnold was on the verge of tears. Azure Dragon lifted Arnold and tossed him on the sofa. Arnold wailed and shrieked, but he could not do a thing as Levi slowly disappeared from his vision. Outside the villa, Phoenix met up with Levi. He handed him some documents. Here's the transaction history and call log between Arnold Botts and Alaric Taylor, sir. Well done. We have gathered all the evidence we need. Place this on Xavier Fields's working desk, Phoenix. He will go through these documents tomorrow. Levi puffed on his cigarette and disappeared into the night. That was destined to be a long and unbearable night for Zoe and Aaron, because their fates would be determined at sunrise. That night was not pleasant for the few waiters who committed perjury too. At 8 o'clock in the morning, a series of police sirens were heard as police cars surrounded the Grand Imperial Hotel. A dozen policemen got out of the car and rushed into the hotel. Then, they swiftly brought the waiters away. Inside her apartment, Susie was distressed by the unexpected turn of events. Don't worry, Susie. You have the support of Arnold Botts and the Northampton Chamber of Commerce. Levi Garrison will not escape the terrible fate waiting for him with these impressive forces going against him. Don't concern yourself with the video. You only have to stick firmly with your statement that Levi edited the video. Her friends comforted her. Susie felt a little better after listening to her friends. That's right. Levi is nothing compared to the people supporting me. However, with that thought in her mind, the sound of sirens reverberated through the entire apartment. Susie and her friends ran to the windows to check out the situation. They saw a police car parked below the apartment. Susie passed out in fear. But she was taken away by the policeman anyway. On the other end, Arnold went to Alaric Taylor's Alaric Group early in the morning. He was actually Alaric's godson as well. Inside the chairman's office, Arnold was begging Alaric to help him. You must save me, godfather. Levi Garrison has the evidence that could ruin my life. Arnold's face was paper white. Alaric chided while smoking his cigar. How can you introduce yourself to others as a lawyer when you're such a coward? Arnold's body shuddered as he explained, That's not it, godfather. Levi is a capable man. Not only did he trick me into revealing all the truth, but he also filmed the entire conversation. I just received news of the few waiters and Zoe's secretary's arrests for committing perjury. I will be his next target. You have to save me, please. Arnold begged Alaric. Alaric stood before the French windows overlooking the city of Northampton. He said after taking a puff of his cigar, Who has the guts to harm my godson? Don't worry about this, Arnold. Nothing will happen to you. The vice captain of the patrol squad needs to pay his respects to me as well. Do you know how much I have contributed to the city's advancement every year? Alaric was unfazed. Not only am I one of the council members of the Northampton Chamber of Commerce, but I am also the owner of Alaric Group, a business worth up to 8 billion. What do I have to fear? But the next second, a series of police sirens blared in front of the Alaric Group's building. The sound filled every corner of the skyscraper. The color drained from Alaric's face when he saw the police cars parked near the entrance of the building. Arnold was already shivering in terror. They are here to capture me. Alaric continued to puff on his cigar. His brows were knitted together tightly, but he reassured his godson, "Don't worry, Arnold. No one will dare lay a finger on you as long as I am here." A few policemen barged into Alaric's office. They displayed Arnold's arrest warrant immediately. Arnold was so frightened, he was soaked in a cold sweat. Alaric raised his voice, "Try and take him away if you have the courage to do so. He's not the only person we are taking away. You're following us as well." A voice was heard. Suddenly, Xavier Fields showed himself a split second later. In his hands was another arrest warrant to detain Alaric. "Captain Fields?" Alaric was surprised to see Xavier Fields. Xavier Fields knew Alaric was a tricky man to handle, so he had to deal with him in person. "Alaric Taylor and Arnold Botts, we have solid evidence to prove your crimes. Please cooperate with us to undergo the investigation. Otherwise, we will take you by force." Four policemen stepped forward and arrested them after Xavier waved his hand. Alaric did not expect himself to be targeted. "I am the council member of the Northampton Chamber of Commerce." Everyone else shared Alaric's sentiment because no one foresaw the arrest of a council member of the Northampton Chamber of Commerce. The evidence against them was indeed irrefutable, but both Alaric and Arnold were astounded to see the transaction histories and call logs. "We purposefully encrypted this information. So why is it here?" Arnold knew the precautionary measures he had to take as he was a lawyer. The police and investigators shouldn't have been able to crack the security encryption. But they did not know Phoenix was one of the best hackers in the world. He dealt with the issue effortlessly. With that, Alaric Taylor and Arnold Botts were captured. Charges were pressed against Charles and his friends who were staying inside the hospital. All of them would either be placed behind bars or deported upon their recovery. This news spread like wildfire throughout Northampton. Justice had prevailed. However, Alaric Taylor's arrest shocked the public the most. The members of the Chamber of Commerce were astounded by that matter. However, they had no other choice but to concede because Xavier Fields was the man to take Alaric into custody. Inside Zoe's office, two people were wrapped in a tight embrace. "So, you have predicted these to happen. You are so smart to deliberately leave evidence at the scene. No wonder you were so calm the whole time." Zoe's eyes shone as she spoke to Levi. Levi smiled. "They are too young to be competing with me.